We go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, the broadcast is live. It's not live.
There we are.
We're live.
We're trying to figure it out.
It's not quite live in the other, but it should.
There we are. That work?
Oh, here we
We'll
come.
figure it out.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to mute that. So there's a bit of a delay,
Okay.
but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out as we go. It's kind of one of those, you start doing all these different things and you're trying to,
Yeah.
we go to Google and you look up a few things and you're trying to figure it out. And it's a lot of it, you got to be doing it in order to try it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the weird bit. But
I'm going to move that over there, and I'm going to move
I do. Hang on here.
this over here. Because then I'm going to actually look at you guys because my camera is above this monitor. And I'll just have the extra show over here in case I need to go into that chat for any reason.
Oh, I don't know.
Good idea.
There we go. Well, there. Perfect. Well, hopefully we have a couple questions or things like that from some people.
Have you gotten any more people signing up?
Yes, and we got a few more that were kind of on the tentative list that confirmed. So what are we now?
I think we're 15.
Confirmed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then, like I say, there's still a few that are outstanding. They've kind of expressed an interest, but haven't for sure or I shouldn't say they haven't for sure because there's been back and forth, but there hasn't been an email sent yet with an address and everything.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. So they're not locked in yet then.
No. There's been discussion on what seeds and things like that, but not a locked in. But that's okay. We still got time on that, and that's what we've kind of been saying to people. You know, we're taking till the 24th, so
Sunday at midnight.
Yeah. So hopefully that gives people enough time.
Yeah.
Well, and after last week, it did the well, not a roundup, but I did do a few messages out to people just saying, hey, we're doing it just in case you missed the video.
Yeah, I have too. I've pushed it out to several of the gardeners. My sister, actually, I was just talking to her on Facebook. She was saying she might swing by.
Okay.
She was looking for the link, and I sent her the link. I don't know if she's here or if she ever goes on live stream. She's not a YouTube creator.
Hey, Gigi, good to see you. I'm glad you can make it.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, so, Lorrie, can you see the chat?
Yeah. Okay. No. Let me go to here. Yes. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's someone with the same last name.
That's my sister. I just have to go to here and I can see it here. So
there we go.
Darren.
Yeah. So Darren is actually Gigi, and they've signed up to do the exchange for sure.
Nice.
They actually are only. How far is it from? I'm not going to reveal where, but
an hour.
Not even an hour from us. They live, so that's kind of neat.
Nice. That's handy.
We're practically neighbors in the internet world.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Hi,
and Boone. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey,
Good to see you. Joining in on our Canadian seed chat. But no, we were just kind of wanted to do another, a weekly sort of get together, just in case anybody had any questions, if there was any new people that might want to get into it a little bit, and
any questions?
Any questions, that sort of thing. And we also wanted to, if anybody wanted to talk what they were going to have available for seeds or what they were looking for seeds, this is a great time to start some discussion. Hey, Miles, on, just what we have available. We're kind of really, really hoping Miles is going to come through on some good squash seeds on this exchange.
Yes, the Canada crooked neck squash was really good.
Yes, we got a squash from Miles when Chris went to swap chickens with him which we did a video on earlier this fall, and he sent a Canada crookneck squash back with us, and we finally ate it, and it was amazing. So we saved the seeds, so we're going for it.
Doesn't squash take a lot of room?
Yeah, they take a bit of room.
Yeah, because they sprawl out. You'd need.
And they get pretty big.
Yeah.
Too. It was what like.
The squash itself was probably close to, 16, 18 inches long?
Something like that.
So if you've got multiples of those on your plant, that's...
Yeah, well, I'm going to try a pumpkin this year.
Yeah.
Which I've never tried to grow before. But it can't go into my raised beds. I mean, that would just take over an entire bed.
Well, a pumpkin probably would, because it's one continuous long vine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of
the zucchinis and the summer squash work nice in a raised bed because they just stay kind of bushy. But
that's a good point about the growing on the trellis, because I used to grow delicate squash, which is a winter squash, but they were smaller. They're like a foot long kind of thing, and they worked really well on the trellis.
So is Lana avid gardener as well, or just starting out gardening?
Lana knows much more about gardening than I do. She has been gardening in Alberta for several years. I don't know if she's going to be gardening this year much. She's in a smaller place, and I don't know. It's not as convenient to. She has some land where she grows at, but. It's not as close to where she's working now, so I don't know that she's going to be wanting to make that 3-hour drive every weekend and spend her weekend in the garden doing.
No, definitely.
Right? So I don't know what she's planning for this year.
Well, maybe she'll reveal.
Yeah, she'll have to tell us.
Yeah, or she'll have to be doing some at-home gardening, keeping it small.
Yeah, I think she has a balcony, if I remember. Oh, see, she's going to
be gardening.
There you go.
And I see there Gigi also says about doing the vertical gardening as well. What method do you use for your trellises and such? I mean, we're cattle panel people, but we're definitely kind of looking into a few other options this year for that sort of stuff. Hey Chris, how you doing? Chris is also another one that has signed up for our exchange swap.
Oh, good.
That sort of thing. So
Lana, if you wanted to get in on this seed exchange, Lana, I don't know if she watched my other video or not, so you guys might want to explain the whole seed exchange thing to her.
Okay, yeah, we definitely can do that. I don't know if you want to do the kind of short and sweet version rather than the long-winded version.
Well, she's going to be she's building a community garden for her work. She works for I think it's a nonprofit in Vegreville, Alberta, so northern Alberta, and they're doing a community garden. So I think that she would probably welcome whatever seeds she possibly could get for that.
I'm just going to put sorry, Chris, I'm going to just put up Amy's here. Amy made a point there about growing the spaghetti squash on the wall there. And we've done that too, because we do our when we grew watermelons, they were vertical.
And stuff, it seemed to make a difference on them too.
We had to make little hammocks by the time they got, but
watermelon.
It worked. But anyways, so we'll do a quick little recap kind of thing on what our challenge is. We've got looked like about 10 people in here, so there may be some that don't know about it or whatever. Bear with us. So basically what we're kind of doing is a quick seed challenge exchange within Canada. Mm-hmm. You want to go through
Sure.
You've got your paper in front of you.
Well, I got it memorized now, but basically what it is, we're hoping to get as many people as possible. Sort of the deadline for, I'll say entry because it's just simpler. Getting in on this is the 24th of January, so that we have enough time to get everything organized and people send their seeds. What we're hoping for is we're going to match everybody up with 5 other people, and basically it would be a seed exchange between those 5. We're getting enough numbers. I think we can make that work. So you'd be sharing with 5 people, and 5 people would be sharing with you. It may not be all the same people, but
we're going to kind of do it at random. Once we've got everybody together, we're going to just kind of draw out of a hat, and we're hoping everybody, like we'll we'll take Lorrie's name and we'll just pull 5 names out of the hat, and that's Lorrie's 5. And then the next person will pull 5 names out of the hat, and that's their 5.
And then we'll send out, basically that's why we're asking for people's emails, so that we can send out the contact information for those people so you have the 5 people that you're
mailing to.
And then at that point, we're going to obviously keep doing the lives to discuss it too, but free to discuss with each other of like what seeds you might be interested in or what you have available and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's the first part, is the actual swap. But what we'd kind of like to do is keep following it through the year. So you don't have to be a creator, but if people make videos, we definitely would love to see them. And we've got 2 playlists. Lorrie's got a playlist and we've got a playlist. So there's 2 spots to find all the videos, and we'll kind of add as people do it. But we'd really like to see how people do with the seeds they got, like how the plants do, how they produce, all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, just to see a bit of results, a bit of how people's germination was, and how much they enjoyed it, whether they liked it as much as we did, or where, and it's interesting to know other people's opinions.
And everybody's got such different growing zones. Like we're up to, what do we have? We've got, you're BC, we're Ontario.
Because what are you? You're 7, growing zone 7, Lorrie?
Me, I'm 8B.
Oh, 8B, okay. And then we've
got Saskatchewan for sure, and the Northwest Territories actually.
Yeah, we've got a lady, one person from Northwest Territories. She's in zone 1A, so she asked for seeds to be sent in our very short season.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that'll be quite interesting. So we weren't planning this, but it'd be kind of cool if we had people from every province and territory, but we might be asking for too much.
We can grow. We can push for that next year and promote a little bit more. I mean, yeah, it would just kind of be a neat thing to spread right out and see what everybody's growing, and how well, say something like that grows well for you may not grow well for us, and it definitely might not grow well for Northwest Territories.
But yeah, and then the only 2 criteria for this at all are you have to live in Canada, because just for time constraint, we just want to keep it easy, because shipping overseas is a little more difficult, and we're kind of behind the 8 ball anyways right now. And then the seeds have to be, or should be, something you could save from, so open pollinated or heritage, ideally, because it'd be nice, or heirloom, because it'd be nice to, go to the next step, and people maybe try to save some of the stuff that they get from the swap and kind of keep it going. So yeah, that's really the premise of it. And right now, we were talking about this earlier today, we're kind of just in that phase of, we've laid out some things we'd like to see, how we'd like it to go, but it's kind of just we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So
that's how things evolve.
That's the basic rundown of sort of what we're hoping is going to come from this exchange. And I mean, we'll answer questions and things like that as they come up, and we'll probably figure out different methods. Also, I was going to say the other thing, we're not sending full packets of seeds.
People
what people think is, an ideal amount. I mean, you might only need to send 10 or 20 tomato seeds, because nobody's going to,
And if you haven't saved seeds in the past, there's no problem with purchasing seeds to participate too. That's one question we've had come up a few times. So I think that's kind of the quick rundown on things. But Chris has got a good point. The sheep fencing would probably work quite well as a trellis, because with those 4x4 squares.
I'm not sure on the up and over though. We did watch a couple people with the video on it, but on a vertical it works well.
Quite well. We've got a lot of that.
I have trellises in a bunch of my raised beds that go up, but I use all those for my tomatoes and cucumbers. So
yeah.
No, I get trellises somewhere, but they'll block
the other thing you could do with your pumpkin or a squash is you put it in the corner of your raised bed, and you just train it to come out the raised bed onto your lawn.
I'm thinking about actually putting it into a corner of the lawn, and just kind of putting stuff over the grass to let it grow out onto the lawn. And
That would probably work quite well.
Yeah.
And eventually turning that into another garden bed as I grow grass underneath it and stuff.
That's a nice part about, I find, squash, because they're pretty heavy feeders, so you can sometimes put a pile down of compost or even semi-composted manure, and they usually still grow okay in that. Sort of the first year, and then that's just adding the next year. They're not particularly picky about that sort of stuff. They just like a lot of food.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
And I was just going to say to Lana, the for the exchange, we're trying to organize everything with who's involved for the 24th. But as far as getting your seeds and organizing and talking, that's something, ideally it'd be the sooner the better, because say if you were sending pepper seeds or something like that, people are going to want to start them sooner than later. But we're kind of aiming for probably the end of February.
We just picked the 24th, kind of the end of January, to sort of get everybody entered, so that we could get, like you say, get that information out to people, so they know who they're exchanging with, and still gives enough time to actually do the exchange.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, because zucchinis always, people are amazed at how big they actually get.
Yeah,
They just keep growing.
Just kind of have to break it out.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what stuff will trellis, like what you can use as trellis. This stuff will grow up pretty much anything as long as it can weave in there. The biggest problem we found is the same thing. If you get a fruit or, you know, in the links and whatever, and it grows, it doesn't go so well.
Yeah. We had to watch that with some of the melons and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of push them out where you didn't want them in
that was one thing that we had with the Kajari melons. We had them growing up the cattle panel, and they'd get 2 or 3 of them would grow together in a little cluster, and it would work until they started to get bigger, and then they would split because there wasn't enough space to we will definitely have to make sure we send you some of the Aurora hot peppers, because they would look really nice, like you said, in your gnome garden.
Yeah.
And they only
I have the perfect pot for them. Let me show you.
They do well in pots.
Oh yes. Well, we did them in pots last year because we didn't plant them in the end.
They're a hardy little dwarf. Yeah.
That'll be nice. Yeah, that's one of your poured ones. I like it. And you know, it's really neat because some of them, like they're purple, yellow, orange. Do they have red ones too? I think they eventually
go red.
They go red then you know they're getting hotter.
You can still eat them when they're purple.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But, and each pepper is probably about 1.5 inches in size. Like they're small, little bite-sized kind of peppers.
Yeah. Okay.
But they look really pretty. Everybody always thinks
hot, but
yeah. But they always we were used to use them as like a border along our walkway. They looked really pretty.
Yeah, they did look really pretty. So, and I'm thinking the deer will leave them alone, because I am thinking about putting one of the pumpkins out in my gnome garden.
Yeah.
The deer probably won't eat the pumpkin plant, but when the pumpkin gets closer to being ripe, they'll come along.
I bought some cages to put over them that I'm hoping will help. But I'm also hoping that setting a pot with a hot pepper on top might help too.
Yeah,
right?
Isn't it marigolds that you can plant? Deer don't like marigolds. I'm not sure if that's actually true though.
No, deer like a lot of things.
Yeah.
They do. They might too. And in another part of the yard, I am going to have stuff that's planted for them to eat, like parsley, and I've got clover, and over on the other side of the house, away from the garden.
Try and woo them to the non-food side.
Right, exactly. And they don't come into the backyard that's all fenced off. They don't like that, which is good. Yeah. But the gnome garden is exposed. It's right beside the road, right?
So
they can come in.
They've got an easy commute to get to you.
Yeah.
Hello, Glad to see you tonight.
But yeah, I'm hoping with growing the clover and I'm going to throw some edible things that they like. Maybe they love tulips. I can't keep a tulip in the yard. That's crocuses.
Oh, that nice early flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some. There's been some interest in sharing some seeds that were kind of like there was the poppy seeds and
how are you?
We've had some dill, things like that. A lot of people have been talking about some different things that they're going to be.
Peas are a good one on a trellis.
Oh yeah.
We grow the Amish snap pea, and don't they get like 5 feet high, 5 or 6 feet high?
5 feet. Yeah.
And usually the plant kind of peters out once they get that big, but they go pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they seem to come back again if you don't pull them out.
Well, depending on the year, they don't like the heat, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get better at it this year with them because we planted them this year. Of course, we planted them a little bit late. And really, we ate a little bit of them, just snacking on them, but we pretty much got enough seed crop to plant again. So, yeah.
The kids went out and kind of picked off the thing and ate that way, but otherwise, we only grew to then keep seeds for the following year. So
that's all right.
So they everything this year? How are the kids going to do with that? Are they going to be bringing stuff in and weighing it before they snack on it?
Well, this is what we're trying to figure out.
You guys are doing shed wars, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
This is what we said. The shed wars is going to be great for us because we've never kept track. But then at the same time, we're terrible for as we're coming in from doing chores, it's like, well, let's just stop and grab some kale or whatever and we'll make a salad. Right. And you don't think about that sort of stuff. So
strawberries and peas while you're working in the garden, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So have to figure out. We thought of this for the eggs. Figure out like what a dozen eggs weighs, because you get a little bit of variation, right? And you just kind of keep track of how many dozen.
Yeah, and then you just do a weight at the end.
Close enough, but it'll be interesting to see. Like.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing for us because we do a lot of our weight would be we do a lot of weight that would be non-vegetable oriented because of like this year they started allowing the eggs, the chicken, all that sort of stuff. So that'll be our thing adding up. And squash.
I don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. So no animal product here.
No, well, that's all right, though.
Well, not that I produce myself anyway. Not saying we don't have it here. Well,
your neighbors may complain a little, so.
Well, luckily on one side, our neighbor is a field of cows, so.
Yeah, oh, nice. That's good, yeah.
No complaints. Semi-rural, so.
Elizabeth called it Leaning Tower of Peas.
That's
good. Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the one thing that we do find is our tomatoes get that way because we grow a lot of indeterminate. That's the word.
They get it,
and they get our trellis. We use the cattle panel, which is a 4-foot trellis, and you think that's going to be ideal, and then it just keeps going over, and you just keep wrapping all that weight on the top, and it gets pretty top heavy by the end of the season.
Well, we used to do them on individual poles, and that never.
Yeah, the poles never worked. It just pulled them over.
Outgrew that. But, actually, Miles, I don't know if he's still in here. He had a neat setup with his Amish paste tomatoes this year. They went. He did them off of his garage, the overhang. And
so he tied the thing to the that's
garage.
a smart idea.
Yeah, they were big. They were cool though.
So he did the rope thing and just tied them to the rope?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a very good point, Darren, and that's kind of why we're wanting to get together with people ahead of time, so that people can talk to the people that they're paired up with about these are the seeds I have. You know, what do I have that you might want, and vice
exactly.
versa. And so we're able to email back and forth or chat or whatever once people are paired up.
Well, and that's what we kind of said, like you touched on it too in your video, and we touched on it in our most recent video where we talked about some of our seeds that we were planning to add to our, what we were going to send out. And basically it was a case of, if you see something that we've talked about on any video or in that particular video, send us a note saying, I said, even if we don't get your name drawn, I mean, we're happy to share. So, at this point, we're a small group, we're looking
Exactly.
at probably
We're not
maybe
hundreds of
20
people, so
No. So we're maybe 20 people. So if somebody puts a shout out and says, I'm looking for this, if someone's got it, we'll make sure that we send it. So
Yeah.
We were
I
just-
think that's
We were just trying to come up with a way to avoid, like, that was the whole thing in the email, that people
Yeah.
are serious, and then we have an end date to it so that you don't kind of just have a free-for-all of people going, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that, and then you don't know if everybody participates back. So, because we want it to be fair for whether you've never saved seeds and never gardened, or you've done it for a decade, it doesn't matter. We just
well, that's just it.
Some of us, Darren, a couple of us now, both Chris and Steph and myself have made videos just kind of going through what seeds we have available.
Mm-hmm.
So those will be up too, and I'm sure you guys have got a playlist with that going as well, right? So,
and that's what we said. Who is it that said they were? Somebody sent me a note today. Oh, it was Getting Clean on the Prairies. She had said she's working on her video, which will tell about what seeds she has and what she's looking for.
Good. Yeah, I think Wild Edibles is going to be putting one out too.
Yeah. She mentioned at the beginning. We haven't tied her down yet, but.
Yeah, you don't have to. You could just email us with a list of what you have, or even just wait until you're paired up with somebody, and then you can just discuss it with them. It's not mandatory that you make a video to be involved.
No, not at all. But we just said, it's like Chris and I, we are what I would call probably seed hoarders, in the sense that, I mean, I probably saved, I'm going to be very conservative and say 1,000 Scotia tomato seeds this year.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
real conservative. Yeah. So, if somebody in our little group here wants Scotia tomato seeds, it's not like I don't have enough that I can't send them out. I mean, that sort of thing. So, and there could be something that people have come across in one of our videos. I mean, last live we were talking about the ground cherries, or, but if somebody's heard something or seen something that they'd like to try, that's something that we can just make sure. It's just, we didn't list all of our seeds because it'd be a 2-hour video.
I actually have more coming, and I didn't do my tomatoes yet. So
so you're in the, you're trying to kind of cover the basics, but it is a case of, if somebody's after something in particular, it's like the lady from Northwest Territories. It's great for her to be specific, because I don't know what she could grow, but that's a great way for her to try stuff. And she did specifically mention she was looking for the Scotia tomatoes. So that was a great thing that, that she was after that. She was looking for some kind of Yukon corn. I don't even know what that is. So I
didn't know that one.
I don't even try to grow corn. There's no way I would have enough room to grow enough corn to make it.
Well, we have the dilemma all around us is corn. We have, well, not all around us, but every second year they grow corn, which would contaminate our crop because it would cross-pollinate. So we don't even bother, because it's, I'm not going to go down the line of all that stuff about patent seeds and blah, blah, blah.
Something that is hard. Very hard. But,
But anyways, but it's nice to see Gigi's also a seed hoarder.
I think hoarding seeds is one of those things that there's never.
It's allowed.
It's not a problem.
Always find use for them, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it is, and it's a case of, we always said, I mean, if somebody needs something or wants something, you've got something to offer, and they do make great gifts. I mean, when it comes to Christmas time, and somebody that's gardening or thinking about gardening, it's a great gift thing too. So
that's true.
It works well.
Yeah.
But so I think that's kind
of the sum up of things right now. Like we said, we've got the 15 people confirmed to be in, and 3 or 4 more that are likely to be in. So we're getting close to the 20 mark.
Yeah. That's ideally, like, we were kind of hoping for the 20, because that's a really nice number to split into 5 people to send to. It was a great number for us to all kind of be able to chit chat and actually have this live discussion where you could just say, I'm looking for this, or,
And I'll say it again, because I say it every live that we've been doing here, the last couple, is we feel bad for everybody who's in the U.S. and can't actually participate.
Yes, because we do have a couple in our chat here that can't participate. Now, I'm not saying that we couldn't, because if there are some seeds, I have heard people say no problem, but this was purely geared towards.
You can do them, but they didn't. The big thing was not doing them with that big box of seeds they had, because there were so many seeds, and there is always the potential of something getting lost at the border.
Exactly.
Back in certain countries, you could do it, but it can be really expensive, and sometimes it's not all that effective. Things could still.
That's the other thing about
when you trap them. So
well, that was the other thing about even in Canada, keeping it to like a smaller group of people that you're sending to in a smaller batch of seeds.
Yeah,
it's not cost prohibitive for people to participate, right? So. Yeah, there's. Thank you, Lorrie, for putting that up. That's the email. If anybody in here hasn't signed up
or just wants to send us mail, that's fine too.
I didn't put the .com on there because sometimes it'll kick you out.
No. You know, it's funny because we've never had junk mail before, and then we put our email on a video, and now, wouldn't you know, people are trying to get us to sell their products and all this stuff, and it's like, no. Anyways, it's okay, it's worth it, but it's one of those things. I'm like, we've never had junk mail before.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Right.
We're like, darn, they found us. It'd be different if they wanted me to, promote and try something that was good and useful to me.
Right.
Seed oriented, exactly.
That doesn't happen.
But so I don't know if anybody has any info on things that they are looking for, or
questions, or just wants to talk about gardening.
Yeah, well, we did a little talking about the trellises, and
trellises are fabulous. It's the only way I can really grow much of anything, because if I wasn't growing vertically in a lot of I couldn't do things like tomatoes, and I keep trying to do melon. I don't know that I'm going to even bother this year. That just doesn't work for me. But if I didn't have trellises, cucumbers, all those things that sprawl out, I would not be able to grow, because I just don't. Otherwise, they'd take over my whole garden, and I don't have enough room.
The vertical gardening definitely makes a really big difference in the smaller space. Well, even in a bigger space, it just allows you to have more, which is really nice.
Yeah,
it takes a little bit of planning up front, but it's worth it. Or we think it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, even if you have this, we have space, and we still do the vertical gardening, because I think that the fruit and everything just turns out better.
Yeah, it keeps the pest out of it. Yeah.
And we like having things at eyesight. I know it's one of those, we're usually terribly bad at doing things quickly. We just kind of quickly look over and go, oh, it's not ripe yet, or oh, it's not. So it's nice to have everything at not eye level, but at least up where you kind of are like, you can see it, and it's in your face a little bit more, which is, I think, very good. Yeah. Plus, it works well for us with our chickens.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So does a fence. That's another garden project.
This year, before Shed Wars starts, we are building a fence around the garden, because the chickens were a little destructive last year. So, but we weren't quite ready yet. But yeah,
they can do that.
But you know what? I'm going to totally digress off of topic here. It was a lady it was from Shed Wars, that she had just planted. She'd done her garden, and remember, her chickens got into it in the fall and ate everything.
Mm.
Oh no!
But it was one of the Shed Wars videos that we
find with again, it's going into chicken talk, but they're funny, because it's like once you start getting a little bit of frost, things that they never even thought about looking at. It's like all the things, all the brassicas, they're like, they don't touch them, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of frost, and if you let them, they just eat it all.
Yeah, they get a touch of frost, some of them.
Yeah, and I think too they stay.
Must get sweeter or something.
They do, and I think they probably stay nicer. Like once you get a heavy frost, it kills off some of the other more succulent stuff, and kind of makes it go to mush. So
yeah.
The technical
mush. The technical.
How you doing?
But yeah. Oh, I think I don't think there's too much else really to.
No, we just kind of wanted to, like I say, have another.
Yeah, we're just making
repeat.
ourselves available just in case anybody does have any questions or things like that, and then.
Yeah, like I say, it's been a very short turnaround so far, but pretty happy with it so far. Which is,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to have 15 people confirmed and in.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
We'll see if we'll see.
Great start.
We'll see if we can get to 20 by the 24th. That's possibly doable.
Well, and if anybody knows anyone, it's like we've got a couple people that aren't on YouTube that have expressed an interest in being part of it, and so we that's fine. They don't need to be on YouTube, as you said in your video. We just want a little bit of the updates. So if we can share, if they share some information, and then we can post it out ourselves after or whatever, and it will work fine. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it is. I don't know if impressive is maybe not the right word, but I think it's it's not that it's not the right word, but it's not the right word for me to say it because we're the ones organizing it. But it's I don't know. It's good to see that. Like we're what, a week?
Yeah,
2 weeks? No,
a week and a weekend.
Yeah, a week and have 15 people that are interested in participating. Like, I guess impressive is the right word.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was all their idea. I have to tell you, it was all their idea.
He says he'll say it for us.
Yeah, but you gave us the push because you gave us the push because we do that same thing we always do where you think about it.
And then I didn't let you out of it.
Yeah, I think it was wasn't our first live or something. We talked about it.
Yeah. Might have been.
And then it just kind of was like,
we might someday do a Canadian seed exchange someday in the future.
No, I think it's good to get it started, and our plan is to keep it going. So in future years, it can grow. And I mean, I don't think we ever plan to do the sending a box around with that gets huge and makes it awkward or anything like that. I think I like the idea of more building the little community that you can say what you're looking for and share that way.
Well, it's not that the big box makes it awkward. It's just, I think here too, when you're shipping in the winter time, depending on what people are shipping, like depending on where, like if it's going to the Northwest Territories, you might not want the big box, right?
Well, and you've got to have a long time to send that around.
But if we were more organized and had done this earlier, you could have done that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've got
all right, start.
Yeah, because if you've got to send it if we're sending it to Northwest Territories, there's what, a week and a half. And then you've got to, send it to the next place. Yeah. That's why we kind of thought that wasn't going to work, at least for right now, because we started too late to people wouldn't get their seeds until next year's season.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
But, it's still fun to see some different ways. And I had one gentleman who signed up. I don't think he's on YouTube, but he sent some links to some other seed things that he participated in.
Well, and he's given us some of the tips or he's going to give us some of the tips on actually shipping cross-border. So, it's possible that next year, if I think it still makes sense to do it small, right? Because you do run that risk of losing the big box. But if we can figure it out and get it organized a bit earlier, then maybe we actually could, go beyond. Because I do feel bad.
You could actually, because it is seeds, you could put it in one of those big padded Mylar envelopes and send that.
Yeah.
There's definitely ways to do it.
For a while, anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. But we also didn't want it to become expensive for people. The idea was, we kind of said if you're just sending to 5 people and you're only sending a few packets of seeds, it goes as an envelope. So it's only, I think it's $1.60. It's $1.60 an envelope, I think is what it is. So, I'm not 100% sure on that, so let's
don't quote us on that.
But I think it's around $1.60 or something like that to send an envelope because I don't think we'd be over in weight.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not with
Yeah, I
sending
suppose it depends on the seeds because some seeds are
well,
way
true.
bigger.
Some are big. Like if you're sending out pounds of bean seeds, that
Yeah,
That's a bit more,
yeah.
but
But I mean,
still
it
doable.
still should be relatively inexpensive,
Yeah.
is what we're hoping. I mean, we were trying to do it that people weren't having to spend more than $10 on postage to everybody, or
right.
combined. Which then, if you're getting 15 different things back, that's still a great little investment, but
sure,
also a fun
sure.
little project.
Yeah.
So.
So I'm going to say at this point, if nobody has any questions, I mean, we've got quite a few people in here. I don't know if anybody wants to chat gardening, just generic stuff. That's cool too for a bit. Or if anybody does have any questions, lower.
We're not sure what that means, Miles. It's lower and lean.
Yes, you'll have to clarify that.
Yeah, you'll have to
You'll have to
clarify.
clarify this for us.
Lower and lean. Oh, maybe, or is that like something to do with we were talking about is the tomatoes?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, I don't know if anybody. We're starting to think about it. I guess the next thing for us is to organize starting our pepper and eggplant seeds. So we usually find they take a long time.
Yeah,
And then,
we're still not able to put them because when can you put stuff out, Lorrie? April?
I should be able to know. I should be able to start planting like peas and stuff and cold weather stuff outside in February.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. See, we're pretty much April. We'd be April, even for peas. We'd be April.
We're end of April.
Yeah, end of April.
And that's
Yeah, we haven't even really froze out here this year yet.
Yeah.
We did have a little bit of snow, but
not. We haven't froze the way we normally do.
no.
That being said, it was a little cooler tonight, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The river's still open.
Weird weather.
It's been mild.
Yeah, I've started peppers and onions, but I wanted to try growing some stuff indoors as well.
Yeah.
So I know I started them early, but they're probably going to go into pots anyway. So I'll still be able to move them outdoors, and they should do fine in the pots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great idea.
We're gonna try doing some onions from seed this year.
We're gonna possibly try. I've tried it in the past and never had a lot of luck. We're gonna try 2 different methods because one way that I've seen is to plant them and basically you plant them in the soil and then just take the soil outside, and then they kind of start to germinate. Or we'd probably put them in the greenhouse. They'd start to germinate as the temperature naturally comes up. I've heard some. This is totally just hearing it. I have never tried it, but to try to get like bigger bulbs, I guess if they're really synced up with your natural cycle, apparently they do better. I can't confirm that, but we're gonna try it, and then we're gonna try a few started sort of inside and sort of see how they do.
Try both methods, see what happens.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a leaf out of Guten Gardening's book and try multiple different ways, and we'll let you know how it goes.
Yep. We're going to try 2 different kinds because we've got a green onion that actually didn't do very well for us last year. But
is that your red one? The ones that are red on the bottom?
Yeah, the red beard one. And then we've got a red onion we're going to try. So we'll see if there's any difference between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
I keep nagging Dave. He's got to get me some dirt because I want to start planting and I need to fill up some beds.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'll have enough compost. We have a friend who's going to pick up a couple of yards and deliver it for us.
Yeah.
We've been we've got our compost pile cooking right now behind the barn.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my little composter is cooking, but I mean, I just have a couple of those little spin composters.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually like those.
Fill up all my beds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I like those spinning composters. They I don't know. We bought one. I need to get a second one because I kind of found it was nice to have one that you fill, and the second one kind of doing its thing. And by the time it's broken everything down, the other one's full. And
the other one's done. Yeah.
But we still got to get the second one. But
yeah, we just got the second one this year. So
yeah,
and we didn't put a splitter panel in there. The one that we have, it tumbles, but it's got a panel, so you're supposed to have one side that's hot and one side that you're adding stuff to.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a nice
That's an
one.
interesting one.
And then
Yeah.
got the same thing for the other one, but I was like, well, let's just leave that splitter thing out of it, and we'll use it for some bigger stuff, like longer branches or whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, we tend to use it like in the summertime. We don't actually have a lot of stuff between having the indoor worm bin and having the chickens and whatnot. We don't, even from the garden, there's not that much left over. It usually goes to something. But but then you have certain things. It's like garlic skins and onion parts and some of that stuff that's not really good to either feed to things or put into the worm bin. That's where we tend to put most of that into the tumbling composter.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree, Guten gardening. They can be a total pain to empty.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've only emptied it a couple of times, but I did find that what I like to do is I have a big bin that's kind of low seated, and it can slide right underneath it. And I just pull both sides off and
just
let it dump, or try to get it to dump out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to do it. Otherwise, they are pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a few spins and some digging around first and then spin it over and try to dump it out.
Yeah.
Our spinning one, it's been cool and it's up off the ground and everything, but it's still generating heat in there.
It's not frozen.
It's not as much as the pile behind the barn, but
yeah.
we keep adding to that one. But
see, beets start onions as well.
Yeah, because we were thinking that the onions too would be better to start probably in February. It was kind of we didn't want to get them started too early. But I mean, the ones, if we do the experiment with just planting them, putting them in the greenhouse, we could do kind of at any time. But actually, I shouldn't say that. We'd have to be careful with that because we keep getting these freeze thaws. So I don't know what that would do to them in the long run. Because if we put them outside and then get a week of nicer weather, that may not work so well if they sprout. Let's think about that. It probably used to work when everything stayed constant, but
yeah, a lot of fluctuation now.
I don't know. I guess the fluctuation allowed us to get our garlic in this fall, so that was good. But
I got some in this fall, but it hasn't. Other than my elephant garlic, none of my garlic has come up. I don't know when it's supposed to come up.
You may or may not know this. Is the elephant garlic a different? It's just a strain that's larger, right?
I have no idea. I've never grown it, and I've never really used it. They just had some at the store beside the garlic that I was, the organic garlic that I was going to buy, and I thought, oh, well, what the heck? Let's try a few of these too.
Yeah. No, that's
see what happens.
A way to do things. We've done that with many things.
Yeah.
We're going to try turmeric again this year. Last year we've done it in ginger in the past, and the first year we did the turmeric tubers, and they just came from the grocery store too. This is a recurring thing. They were super late. It was one of those things. I think it was like June, and we're like, oh, let's try this, and we put them out. Like the plant grew pretty decent, but there wasn't really much underneath. They didn't have enough time.
Right.
But then we tried it last year, and they didn't produce anything. They didn't produce any tubers. But we're gonna try it one more time. But ginger did pretty well for us. So yeah. So we're hoping.
Ginger.
What's that?
I would like to grow ginger.
It's a long crop, like because we planted. Well, yeah, I guess because we planted ours. We planted it in the house in February, and it didn't do anything until like the beginning of April, and then it spread a little bit, and then we finally got it outside the end of May. So we probably stunted it a bit, but I don't want to say it doubled, but it grew more than I thought it would have.
And the interesting thing about it was when you dug up the whole pot, the original tubers that we put in were still fine.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like the potato or anything where you couldn't eat that after.
Right.
So we kept those, and we're going to try and start them again.
Yeah, see what happens.
Because we still have the original tubers, and they're still in fine shape. So
That's what I was wondering if gluten gardening, if it was something different. So we may have to look into that because we've got the music is a hardneck garlic.
hey, Mel.
And hello. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Hi, Mel.
Oh.
Welcome back, Chris. So does that mean gluten gardening? If it's more of a leek, does it have more of an oniony flavor to it? Or does it still taste more garlicky?
Yes, we're going to pick your brain on this because
Yes.
I've not done the research on it yet, but I've been wondering.
On the elephant garlic, yeah. Well, but when you say a leek, it comes to me that you're eating the green.
Tastes mostly like garlic.
Okay. Huh.
Well, that's good to know, but way bigger.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting. We might have to try that one, but way bigger.
Let's
Yeah,
try
this will be my first time trying it or growing it or.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi,
How are you
Nicole.
doing? Oh, it's Ed. Ed under Nicole. Oh.
Actually, since you're on here, Ed, do you happen to have any seeds that you might be interested in getting in on this? Because you're not that far from us. Put you on the spot. Be
Yeah.
like, you'll be number 16.
She's never had the greens, but you ready to put them on the elephant garlic.
Okay.
That's good to know.
That is good.
We might have to look into, but that we would have had to have planted that in the fall, right?
Everybody seems to be planting it in the fall, so I'm
So
gonna guess.
that would be a next year thing, not this year.
I will
Yeah.
admit, the whole onion allium family just confuses me a bit because there's so many hybrids, like naturally occurring hybrids, and
Yeah.
it gets confusing. They're one of those ones too that if last year we grew, I don't know the variety, but it was like a commercial red onion. We had like 10 or 15 of them that started to sprout. So we're like, oh, we'll put them in the
Yeah, they started growing under the cupboards.
yeah. So we put them outside, and we knew because they were already a bulb, because they're biennials too. So we knew they were big
Hi,
enough
down on Boddington. Sorry, I
to
didn't
no.
have to-
Go ahead and interrupt me because I get talking.
Boddington Farm.
We knew they were big enough to put out to get the flowers from, but we didn't grow any other onions because I can't remember the separation distance on them is pretty big too. But
Yeah, we saw the onion seeds from your
my
one
God.
flower, Mal. We harvested about 7 flowers that came off of that one that
I
we
think
did in the
so.
pot. And
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to do with all the seeds.
we're
So
gonna plant them.
we're going to try. We're going to try and plant them and see what happens. But
They I don't know. They should grow pretty well.
Kevin. Hi, down on Boddington Farm.
Oh, we're getting some people coming in. If I'm not going to go through it again, but if there's anybody in here that does have any questions about it, James wanted to say hello. You're not in.
Hi.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, James.
Little future gardener. What's your favorite thing to grow?
I actually don't quite know.
No, you know. It's blue.
Blueberry, Saskatoon.
Blueberry.
I also like broccoli, but
you do like a lot
Yes,
of
you're going to be the broccoli grower this year. Our broccoli seeds are coming.
Yeah.
Yes,
there you
appearance.
go.
Oh, now the other one's going to come to say her 2 bits
Oh,
because
so you
James
gotta tell
got to
us.
be on the camera. Go nuts.
Come here. Come here.
It has to be something to do with gardening.
What's your favorite thing to grow in the garden? You're not in the camera. Here.
carrot
Carrot.
Yes, you're the carrot grower.
and also cucumbers.
And cucumbers. Carrots and cucumbers.
That's all she wants in her section of the garden this year is
Yep.
carrots and cucumbers.
Carrots and cucumbers.
Too.
What kinds?
Oh, girl.
Carrots and straight 8 cucumbers.
Straight
Yep.
8 cucumbers and dragon
Dragon
carrots.
and
There you
straight
go.
cucumbers.
Yes.
I like the colors in the
The dragon carrots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like the color.
The
of
dragon
them.
carrots are kind of fun. They're we like them. We've got to do something with some of our dragon carrots because we pulled them, and we were going to replant some, or replant or repot or something. Some of them to go to seed for next year. We haven't done that yet.
No, they're in a bucket downstairs. They're growing greens though, so we should be good to go.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So what did I was gonna say?
They'll if they cross pollinated, they'll still produce something. Like were they? We haven't watched your video yet. We just haven't.
We just saw it before we got onto the live. I'm like, melted onion.
Were they like, was it a white and a red, or were they like two completely different things, or just two different varieties of like a red or whatever? Because
that's the thing though. Even if stuff cross pollinates, it's one of those things we like to keep things as true as we can, but. Even if it cross-pollinates, it doesn't matter. It's still food. It's still going to grow fine. It's just a surprise as to what you're going to get in the end.
We just kind of always go into the seed-saving stuff because it's that thing of you wanted to keep it pure because you like whatever variety it is. And certain vegetables are easier for that than others. That's why there's so many hundreds of kinds of tomatoes because tomatoes don't require really any separation distance. Same with beans, right? They're very easy. Although beans are confusing because you have to know what the species that the bean came from. It's not that they do. Well, because they're all a little different, right? Because what is it? There's the common bean. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a bunch of different.
Sorry, I'm going back.
We're getting behind in the chat, guys.
Yeah, you're falling behind. So Chris had gotten a bunch of seeds from Amy, so they got across the border.
But we've heard it's easier to come this way. Yeah. That was the part that concerned us because like ordering from an American company or getting stuff sent to you from somebody in the US doesn't seem to be a big problem. It's the other way that we keep hearing is the possible issue. Yeah. That's good that they came.
And definitely you could share some of those. Whatever, they're good ones.
Well, if they're red and white, that could be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, watch for that video, Mel.
Yeah, because onions are, like I say, I don't know. I find them kind of confusing. Yeah. There's not that many kinds, but still.
Yeah, and she said further down there that the white ones were easier to store. We find that too. The red ones seem to want to sprout and whatnot so quickly compared to our white ones.
But there's not as many red varieties of onions that are actually really long storers. There's a couple, but
hi Gail.
Onions are one of those things we just didn't go down haven't gone down the rabbit hole as far as you could yet as far as varieties because I don't know. Yeah. Goes crazy too, but
Amy sent the maracas.
Well,
that's what I said and we said that we could probably do that going back because we could send to the States. We just got to kind of.
So, hint, if anybody in here really wants us to send them something,
indicate that you play a musical instrument.
All right, go away then.
So the hybrid, you'll have to let us know what kind you grew there, Mal, because that. We haven't had a whole lot of luck with the red. That's why we're hoping these ones, since they went to seed anyways, we're hoping maybe they'll be a little bit.
It's an experiment. Not everything we have do we actually know what it is. Like there's some kind of commercial red onion, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens with it? I don't know. I'm far more. It's like the garlic. I'm more interested in keeping that pure too because you're just cloning it. So. Like we've got the two kinds and keep them separate so we don't forget which is which.
Yeah,
thank you, Miles, for the Siberian garlic, by the way.
Yes, which we did actually get planted. But yeah.
So we're gonna switch to having a discussion about musical instruments and shipping those cross border.
Yeah. There's
the funny part of it is it's like that is what they put in beans. They put beans in maracas. Yeah. So it's like.
Well, I said it's like the magic bag things. You know those things you heat up in the microwave? They're full of seeds.
Some of them.
Some of
them
are.
I don't know if they all are, but seed-like things. Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, hopefully you get some rest and.
Recoup. But it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in, though.
Yes, thank you. And I don't know if you've checked out any of the seed stuff, but if you have, we'll be talking
Yeah.
to you.
If
We've gone over it a couple of times already.
yeah,
So.
with Mal, if you're at all interested in being part of the seed exchange group here, just send us an email, let us know, and we'll add you to the list. But yeah,
We're going to get the list to 20.
Yeah,
That's the goal. 20
Yeah.
by the 24th.
20 Canadians to share seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Send your emails.
yeah, exactly. That's the indication. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we've done some local seed. Not this year.
This year there haven't been as many local ones. I guess with the COVID stuff and everything, it seems like people are just not doing that sort of thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but I think it'll be neat. We'll have to see if we can find some people in some of the provinces that we're missing.
Yeah, we'll have to go out and recruit. Yeah.
But I guess kind of, I don't know. We're short of just chatting about gardening.
Well, we're coming up to I think we are at our hour. I'm not sure.
We're 1 minute over.
Oh, 1 minute over our hour.
Because I haven't talked to you.
Time to go. Time to go. The cat wants dinner.
Yeah.
Our cats are circling too.
Yeah, we're sitting beside their array of dishes, and they keep kind of. I'm actually surprised they've stayed quiet, to be honest.
Yeah, usually they don't. But,
yeah.
Mine is just sitting here staring at me.
They do that. That's why we kind of came up with this. We're just like, you know what? We can't. Well,
are you talking here?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put up Mal's little comment there. So yeah, this one here we're doing is completely for Canadians only, just because we see so many.
Not Canadians. You have to live in Canada.
People who live in Canada. You can be American and live in Canada, but we're just not shipping stuff across border. We've been watching all the seed exchanges going on in the States and other places, and we kind of thought, this is something that we should do and try and organize people towards that. So that's kind of the plan with it. And
then see how they.
So definitely, you're welcome to jump on board, Mal. I think it'd be a welcome addition, and we'll
talk later. I think everybody's starting to head out, but this has been good. So we'll probably, unless there's any burning questions, which I don't think there is.
Yeah, we'll probably.
We will see you all again, same time next week on my channel.
On Lorrie's,
And we'll have the official number of how many people
it'll have been cut off at that point.
Because
so
by that time it'll be over the entry part.
So. We'll be really looking at who we're going to be sending to and what they're going to want and all that kind of fun stuff. So
exactly.
So hopefully it'll be.
Don't miss out.
And then we'll probably discuss at that point where we go kind of from there on some, just see what people's opinions are on, dates and things and how they want to work that. So
yeah, sure.
This is a good way to sum it up. Good night to everybody, and definitely have fun with it. That's the point.
Good night, everybody.
Who doesn't have fun when seeds are involved?
That's right.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week on Lorrie's World.
Yep, and we'll
Bye.
go to the next phase.
Now we have to.